Yo, if you're an online coach and you're sick of undercharging and under earning, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can launch your premium high ticket offer so you can finally start scaling to 10K, 20K, and beyond. And again, as with so much of the content that I shoot on this channel, this isn't theory. This is exactly how we did it for my client KJ. So this is KJ underscore Harlow on Instagram if you want to check out some of his content. KJ came to us and he, like so many guys, was like going hell for leather on school. But as a result, he was making like less than $1.50 a month. In less than 30 days implementing our process, we were able to take him from less than 1.5K to over 10K a month recurring via implementing the system that I'm about to break down and show you here. So you've seen me talk countless times about how honestly, like low ticket stuff, it's just a fucking waste of time, right? Unless you've got a massive audience, right? Unless you've got, right, like 200,000, 300,000 followers, it's not really worth your time. Okay. So if you've got like 50,000 followers or 30,000 followers and you're doing like a $49 school, you'd be better off like flipping burgers at McDonald's. You'd honestly make more money doing that, right? And it'll probably take it the same amount of time as well. So the reason being is that if you've got a $49 offer, right, like a school community priced at $49, you would need 600 people in there to do 30K a month. Or you could go premium high ticket pricing like I always recommend. Okay, there is a time and place for low ticket offers, but it's once you've already scaled your premium high ticket offer, right? Because I'll show this, just I'll talk about this time and time again until I'm blue in the face. But the whole reason that not only we've been able to scale guys like Brian Marquesano here from 9 to 5 to 50K a month, he was doing low ticket shit as well, right? And because he was doing low ticket, he was stuck in his 9 to 5, right? Or Scott, right, from SB Dating here. He was basically posting as a hobby. He had some ebooks and stuff like that, but not making any money. And as a result, stuck in his 9 to 5. Or Devin here from Just Approach, right? Maybe you know some of these guys. He too was doing ebooks and school communities and low ticket offers and getting nowhere. Okay, so first thing we got to implement and that we implemented with KJ is really adopting this idea of premium high ticket pricing. And what you also want to understand in relation to that is that if you're marketing to the right kind of people, Hormozy actually says it here, like sell expensive shit to rich people. If you're selling to guys that are making like 70, 80, 100, 200 grand a year, these guys, they just want to solve their problem. If they're struggling with their dating life, they don't want to figure it out on their own. They just want guidance, help, and like pretty much a done with you offer to solve this problem. Okay, so let's jump right back into KJ's situation here. One final thing on that last point is imagine you were a Lamborghini owner, right? To be a Lamborghini owner, you obviously have to be affluent. If you're an affluent Lamborghini owner and you have issues with your car, you're probably not on YouTube trying to figure it out on your own. You're probably just trying to get the problem solved as quick as possible because you to do so. So that's what one of the reframes I use to help KJ see the value. One, the value of his offer. He already knew that. He knew that for somebody that's affluent, if they're really struggling in their dating life, but they're doing well financially, why would they not pay 5K to become the most confident version of themselves? If this guy's already got a good job, he's in the gym, he's healthy, and he's like financially healthy as well, why would he not pay 5 or 6 or 7K to get into abundance with women, to feel more confident, to feel like a badass, right? To finally become the guy that he's always wanted to be. Of course he would, okay? So if you're struggling to close premium high ticket pricing, it's either because you don't have the mid funnel in place, maybe you're attracting the wrong prospects in the first place, maybe you're not qualifying those leads, or, right, and I see this a lot, you don't have the mid funnel or the sales systems in place to build certainty before the sales call, okay? So up to the top of funnel here, I talk about this all the time, right? We've got a few different content styles specifically designed for dating coaches that are very robust in their ability to bring in new followers. So KJ really likes this whiteboard style content, which is a little bit of a hybrid. You know, we often talk about attention capturing content and value content that fosters connection. The whiteboard stuff it's a little bit of a hybrid, right? Because of the text on the screen, it kind of keeps the prospect hooked. So that's good for retention, but we're also giving quite a bit of value. In KJ's case, we really leaned into these contrarian hooks to enhance the reach on the content. And you can go to KJ's profile and you'll see the results of that. Further, we implemented these 6-second looping videos, which, as you can see, perform very, very well, right? If we see some other examples of the looping videos, these are all client examples. KJ's example was here, and that's why it's not there. I pulled it over. But you can see like 5.9 million views, 11 million views, 7.7 million views. These are 6-second videos, really, really easy to implement. But like you've heard me talk about so often, short form content alone isn't enough. And that's why we need the mid funnel in place. So what we do with so many of the clients is optimize a top of funnel content strategy that's really designed to get maximal reach, maximal attention. Then we use this link a reel feature and we start to push those viewers into the My Mission reel. So as a result, this content captures attention, it captures new followers, and now they're starting to get exposed to the mentor themselves. And they're starting to see a little bit about our process, our backstory, our methodology. And as a result, they see us as an authority, but also as a relatable figure whose process and step by step they can actually follow to achieve the same result. At the end of this video, we CTA to a link in the bio, which in KJ's case goes to this hero's journey video right here. Now, when I work with every client, I work with them hand in hand and I pretty much do the copy. I write out exactly what they need to say in these videos to pre-sell these prospects, right? One thing on that, if you're a dating coach, for example, you know that there's a very, very, very big difference between like trying to approach a woman the way most guys would do it and how you would do it as a professional. Okay, so I'm a very skilled copywriter. I've done this for countless clients. When I work with a client, I actually write the copy for them. We have systems, processes, and personally, I have over 10, 12 years of experience in this game at this point, right? Initially, I worked in sales for FedEx. Then I went on to work for Google. I launched my e-commerce company. And then I went on to become a high ticket closer and then ultimately building this business as well. So you can, by all means, go ahead and try to make the My Mission reel or try to make this content. But like you're aware, the way most guys would do a cold approach is terrible, right? And that's what I see when most guys try and implement this stuff on their own, frankly and honestly, okay? So look, if you want support, right, if you're just going to be a man about it, right, if you realize to sign high-ticket clients, you have to be able to inspire those clients to invest in you. And if you've never invested in yourself, you're not going to be able to do that. There's a disconnect. Okay, so there's going to be a link down below to get booked in onto a call with me where we'll be able to get this handled, right? And the only reason this stuff wouldn't work for you is pretty much if you're just a bitch and you don't implement, right? I don't make guarantees about the results that we can drive for a prospect because though our systems and processes, they do work, they're 100% proven. We've all these different case studies for guys who have big audiences, small audiences, loads of sales experience, no sales experience, brand new offer, established offer. So any limiting belief that you might have, we've helped countless guys who have that same situation overcome that belief and change their life. But the reason I can't make a guarantee is because some people are pussies and they just don't implement. Frankly, a lot of people watching this video and all the other videos in this playlist and on my page, they'll still come up with excuses and limiting beliefs as to why they can just do it on their own, right? And that's an example of the type of behavior. If somebody has these beliefs, we can't guarantee a result, right? What I can guarantee though is that if you're just a fucking high testosterone man, you execute, right? If you're willing to actually invest in yourself and execute, at the very least, click the link down below, get onto a call with me. I'll map this out for you and for your offer completely for free. If you want help, we can talk about the offer and how we can work together. But on that call, we'll map out this process for you. Okay, so at the very least, and I guarantee it, at the very least, you will have the battle plan, right? The big picture battle plan of what would need to be implemented to scale your business. Okay. Now, if you have no intention of investing in yourself, if you don't believe in coaching, which is ironic, if you're an online coach, you should believe in coaching. But if you have no intention in investing in yourself, if you're completely flat broke, don't book in, because we're just going to like ultimately cancel the call, right? But if you're serious, right, you actually do want help, click the link below, get booked in onto a call, allow us to map this stuff out for you, allow me to show our expertise and how we'll scale your business. And then if there's confidence there, you believe in the process and the battle plan that I map out, we can talk about getting you the support needed to make it happen. Okay? Peace, my friend. I'll see you on the inside. Ciao, ciao.